I believe. And I know say beaucoup people them way can come at this platform self do believe na make we can come every day for make we can talk how we go help for make Sierra Leone a better place. Today, the Sierra Leone Bar Association then get the annual conference and they invite Professor Raymond Atuguba for make he can give the keynote address. Now these people like say Itoko Professor talk, but then you know say just on that people and say Professor talk. Some people say them be get opportunity for don't listen them, but some other people they not listen them. Well, we listen waiting Professor Raymond Atuguba lay at the table today na the Sierra Leone Bar Association. Let's listen.
Our speaker, Professor Raymond Atuguba.
Madam Chairperson, Madam Attorney General for Justice, and Deputy Attorney General and Minister for Justice, representative of the Chief Justice, and Supreme Court judges and other judges, plus other officials of state here, President and Executive Council of the Bar, members of the Bar, media operatives, ladies and gentlemen. Law and the new developmental state in West Africa. It is traditional to begin a keynote address by indicating that one is happy or glad to do so. On this occasion, and in line with the dictates of the central theme of my address, I must be forthright and say that I am not really happy. I am indeed sad, almost angry, to deliver this keynote address. And I say this unapologetically, without fear of ruining your celebratory mood. Because that very mood, the extremely premature euphoria, the dance before dawn, is part of the phenomenon that I am sad and angry about. Before we focus on my sadness and anger, Leone, and about Africa generally, let us put that sadness and anger in a global setting. And that's what picture, what view, what outlay do the rest of the 194 countries in the world present? And how does Salon and her Bar Association fit in there? That way, we can begin to surmise the issues we face here in their most profound reality, and more importantly, appreciate the courses of action we must take as the Salon Bar and the sacrifices that are implicated thereby. Today, the global picture, the view of the world we live in, is pretty simple and does not appear to be changing in the near future, unless we intentionally, deliberately, positively let it. Politically, we are witnessing the death of democracy and good governance, and the rise of dictatorships and a new populism all over the globe. With the traditional democratic frontiers, the United States, whose birthday it is today, and Great Britain leading the pack. Economically, we are experiencing accelerated extractivism as the G20 countries continue to pillage every imaginable resource from poor countries, human, material, cultural, technological, whilst killing, maiming, threatening, starving, corrupting anyone in the line of the resource. Socially, the world is so divided, everyone is looking over their shoulder to see if their neighbor is about to throw a bomb or otherwise harm them. And nations are so scared of one another, they now parade military tanks, flyovers, and fireworks at their independence parades. This is happening in the US right now as we speak. Technologically, we are so screwed up, we use it to fight wars, rig elections to subvert the authentic choices of the people, and steal from each other. This is the world we live in. No matter how much we pretend, and no matter how far we try to sweep it under the carpet, the liberal democratic model is exhausted and almost dead. That model, the dominant model in our time for getting any country out of poverty and onto a path of sustainable development and keeping it there, will be no more by 2020. Yes, by next year. As Vladimir Putin put it to the Financial Times at the Kremlin exactly a week today, quote, "The liberal idea has become obsolete," unquote. Having, quote, outlived its purpose, unquote. Putin is 100% right, but for completely different reasons from those he espoused at the interview. I'll come back to this later. To return to the theme about politics, and coming closer home, BTI Regional Report for Africa for 2018, appropriately titled A Divided Continent, notes, and I quote, "Between 2015 and 2017, Africa witnessed an overall deterioration in the quality of political and economic transformation and governance. It is striking that every criterion of democracy recorded a decline. The same was true for every measure of economic status and governance. The combined effect of these trends was to move the country further away from political stability, democratization, and economic sustainability. While almost African states hold multi-party elections that create the outward appearance of democracy, in many cases, constitutions continue to confer disproportionate power on the president and the ruling party. The last few years have also seen a continuation of a decade-long trend of democratic backsliding, with governments deploying repression to deal with the changes posed by the spread of social media and the emergence of increasingly assertive civil society groups, opposition parties. Even basic state stability appears to elude Africa. In the last decade alone, there have been coups in Madagascar in 2009 and in Niger in 2010. After the coups and uprisings in North Africa, Algeria, Egypt, Libya, Tunisia, at the beginning of this decade, and joined by Djibouti in 2000 and 2001, Benin, Comoros, and Chad experienced failed coup d'etats in 2013, while those in the Central African Republic in 2013 and in Burkina Faso in 2014 succeeded. In 2015, another coup in the same country, Burkina Faso, succeeded, but for just 1 week. A counter coup reinstalled the new deposed president, and yet another failed coup, still in Burkina Faso, occurred in 2016. After a failed coup in 2014, another internationally orchestrated coup succeeded later. Burundi experienced a failed coup in 2020, and the interesting coup in Zimbabwe in 2017 is still fresh in our minds. the attempted coup in Gabon and the successful one in Sudan this year are also still fresh in our minds. In the last 2 or so years, there have been 11 attempted or successful coups globally. 8 of the 11 were in Africa. Even countries that appear politically stable are not that stable. Mali, Nigeria, and many other countries live under the specter and growing threat of terrorism. Shining stars like Ghana are slowly experiencing democratic reversals, and Sierra Leone is learning all the bad things from Ghana. When a country starts to illegitimately remove constitutionally protected officers from their posts, including sitting Supreme Court judges, represses journalists, and interferes in court proceedings for really micro and meso-level political agendas, the destructive seeds of authoritarianism and the annihilation of the freedoms of the people are sown. It is no wonder that Liberia experienced a massive citizens' demonstration last month. Sierra Leone experienced similar skirmishes in the same month. And just at the beginning of this month, the courts were used by the government of Ghana to temporarily subvert another demonstration. Enough of politics. Let's move on to the economy. And I return again to the BTI assessment. And I quote, economic transformation also stalled during this period, that is 2015 to 2017. Following the optimism of Africa rising, a combination of falling demand for commodity prices and failure of many states to diversify their economies led to lower than projected economic growth. In turn, falling revenue placed significant pressure on government budgets and thus constrained the policy levers available to many. Along with rising currency and price instability and the growing percentage of GDP that African countries spend on servicing an increasingly heavy debt burden, this led to a deterioration in the standard of living. This is no news and has been happening since 1488, when the first explorers arrived in Africa. Since then, Africa has been a living carcass, feasted upon for centuries by Euro-American and lately other G20 countries. From 1980 to 2009, a period of less than 30 years, at least $1.2 trillion, spelled with a T, trillion, was lost from our dear continent in illicit financial flows. The terminology does not cover all of the illegitimate outflows from Africa. Only money earned illegally and transferred used elsewhere, usually generated from criminal activities, corruption, tax evasion, bribes, and transactions from cross-border smuggling. The numbers tell only part of the story. The illicit hemorrhaging of resources from Africa is about 4 times Africa's current external debt. I say that again. The illicit hemorrhaging of resources from Africa is about 4 times the total African external debt today. And the African continent is so resource rich. With good resource husbandry, Africa could be in a position to finance its own development. The report contains another set of really profound statements that we need to put front and center in our minds as we move into issue resolution mode. The composition of these external outflows also challenge the traditional thinking about illicit money. Listen to this. Corruption activities, such as bribery and embezzlement, constitutes only about 3% illicit outflows, only 3% to corruption. Criminal activities such as drug trafficking and smuggling make up 30 to 35%. And listen to this, commercial transactions by multinational companies make up a whopping 60 to 65%. Contrary to popular belief, money stolen by corrupt governments is insignificant compared to the other forms of illicit outflows. The most common way illicit money is moved across borders is through international trade. I take this again. Contrary to popular belief, money stolen by corrupt governments is insignificant, 3%, compared to the other forms of illicit outflows. Against this background, and in the last two segments of this address, I wish to focus on two things: democratic, good governance, and economic policy reversals in Sierra Leone in the last few years, and more important, what the Sierra Leone Bar may do about these. Sierra Leone has experienced many democratic reversals in the last decade. In 2015, the then president sacked his vice president unconstitutionally. And strangely, the Supreme Court endorsed it. After the then vice president won against the government at the ECOWAS Court of Justice, the previous government and this government have both failed to abide by the judgment. I know this because I was the lawyer for the dismissed vice president. Over the last few years, many persons who occupied constitutionally protected positions have been sacked or otherwise removed by government. The recent removal of members of parliament and their illegitimate replacement are clearly contrary to election laws that allow for those seats to remain vacant when an appeal is imminent. Those laws also require another election to be held. This was not done. The fact that these actions were taken pursuant to judgments of the courts of law is very worrying indeed. This is the Sierra Leone we live in today. On the economic front, Sierra Leone is still a favorite site for vultures to scavenge. Mineral resources, agricultural lands, tertiary resources, everything is there for the taking by any multinational company that has a few dollars to throw around. Recently, the government had to ban fishing for some time by foreign trawlers in Sierra Leone waters. This is the world we live in. What can be done about this, about the world we live in? Let's start with the political. Some 30 years ago, when many African countries, including Sierra Leone, experienced third wave democracy and adorned themselves with new constitutions, those constitutions, presenting quick, reluctant, greasy political settlement and compromises, were just enough for their needs. Today, those constitutions are no longer enough for their needs and are definitely ultra inadequate for their wants. What African countries need now is deep participatory reviews of their constitutional governance, undertaken in a manner that simultaneously builds citizenship and guides the nationalism that is essential for pushing through the governance reform that all African countries badly need. As happened with the Constitution Review Commission, such reviews must extend beyond the Constitution, even beyond law, and touch the hardcore governance, developmental, and nation-building issues that need to be confronted. I call on the Sierra Leone Bar to initiate this process. Be reminded that done properly, such a review will be effective even if it is not passed into law. It will serve as a constant reference point for the democratic guidance of the nation. Still on the political solution, we need to be reminded that liberal democracy will be dead by next year. And so we must be brave enough to sing him a dirge. Liberal democracy is definitely a hymn. Dance the funeral war dance, bury him, shed some tears, hug in sorrow, and move past him. The new aspiring democracies and economic miracles in Africa, notably Mauritius, Botswana, and Rwanda, did not reach their true liberal democracy. Indeed, those countries are increasingly becoming illiberal in several respects. A reading of Behind the Presidential Curtain, Inside Out of Real Paul Kagame from his former bodyguard gives us an enlightening picture of the illiberal aspects of Rwandan governance. And although Botswana looks thoroughly democratic, their last president was in power for 10 years. And before that, he was vice president for another 10 years. And even before that, he was commander of the army. Perhaps Kagame is following in same footsteps. Let no one deceive us. 4 or 5 years, even 8 or 10 years of rule is woefully inadequate for any serious ruler to dig out the rot in African governance, lay a firm foundation, and begin to build a resolute structure on it. And without this, we are completely doomed. This means that the options for democratic constitutional design during the review process must remain open. And liberal democracy should definitely not be the only option. I know that many are accusing me now of being a lover of autocrats and dictators. This is not so. Let us draw a line between African strongmen who take it out on their citizens and African strongmen who use their power to take greater control of their policy spaces and their economies and the destinies of their and their nations. The two are very different orientations and uses of state power. I vote for the latter. I move now to the second thing that needs to be done and done now, the economic solution. I recall once again the words of Vladimir Putin. In the interview earlier referenced, Putin said, and I quote, he condemned open-door policy towards migrants and said liberalism has gone too far at the expense of traditional values. When the migration problem came to a head, many people admitted that the policy of multiculturalism is not effective and that the interests of the core population should be considered. He described German Chancellor Angela Merkel's welcoming policy towards refugees as a cardinal mistake, and praised US President Donald Trump, whom he described as a talented person, for taking a much harder line on migration. He continued, and this is the quote, "The liberal idea presupposes nothing needs to be done. The migrants can kill plunder, and rape with impunity because their rights as migrants must be protected. To put this in text, Russia is home to some 10 million migrants who work mostly in construction and retail, playing a vital role in that country's economy, especially as the Russian population is aging. Whilst we may hate him for what he says, there is a lesson in there for us Africans. The same anti-migration rhetoric and the same nation-first populism that characterize Putin and Trump should be the same attitude and slogan for us when it comes to Africa's resources. African countries must wise up and create a strong and unbreakable bond between her plentiful and much sought after resources and her people. Any country that rejects and disrespects Africans must have absolutely nothing to do with her resources. If you cannot accept African people, then do not take her resources. For every African who is denied entry to a G20 country, one multinational company from that country and operating in Africa must be asked to pack and leave. The world needs Africa more than Africa needs the world. It does not sound believable, but that is what the data, that is what the science says. The ultranationalism of the big boys, right down to building of walls and disrespectful immigration policies, must be met in equal measure with economic nationalism and the building of economic walls around African resources and the institution of disrespectful foreign investment policies. In this regard, Tanzania, Zambia, and Zimbabwe are showing the way and should be praised and guarded on, not maligned. The third thing that needs to be done, and which is a prerequisite for the first two solutions to succeed, is the reconstruction of what Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, that illustrious son of the African soil, called the African personality and identity. The reconstruction of this social construct that has so badly damaged is needed more today than ever before. Make America great again, Brexit, Putin's anti-migration effusions, and many other similar policies only further damage the African personality, as Africans continue to experience a rough and disrespectful pushback from the G20 countries they struggle to reach. This reconstruction of the African personality and identity must start from the review of our curricula and teaching methodologies. Through deliberate and intentional Africanist civic education, to a global occupation of new and non-traditional media with the profound reality of the African situation and prospects as a basis for building the new African personality and identity. It must also reflect in everything, our ways of dressing inclusive. I long for the day when African lawyers will appear in African courts and African bar conferences, African attire. The fourth and final point relates to technology, and I'm getting to the end. Africa has experienced modes of domination since 1488. Political domination in the form of colonialism of old and the occupation of a policy space by the G20 today. Economic domination in the form of human and material extractivism of old and mainly financial extractivism today. and social domination in the form of cultural imperialism of old and anti-African media today. However, there is a fourth and budding form of domination: technological domination. In its most banal form, this mode of domination is palpable when election results are rigged using technological hijacking and an imposter imposed on the people as their leader. Africa must begin to rethink her encasement into a technological world that it does not fully understand and does not control. Technology has its usefulness, but making your electricity, water systems, health systems, everything dependent on technology that we did not make, that we do not fully understand, and that we do not control is sheer madness. Ghana's Electoral Commission reported recently that the controls of the electronic aspects of our voter systems are in the hands of an Israeli company in Israel. And Ghana retains no domestic keys to the systems. For Africa, a more strategic approach to the technological revolution is warranted. Bar associations in Africa have traditionally been trailblazers and harbingers of the hard truth. This is what the Kenyan Law Society, the Tanganyika Law Society of Tanzania, the Nigerian Bar Association, the Ghana Bar Association, the 5 or more bar associations in South Africa, and many others did and continue to do for Africa's progress. I asked my personal assistant to research your current bar president, Pasita Michael, and this is what she found out. Quote, Michael is known for her commitment to saying the truth, and she has continued to take critical and independent positions on national issues since her election to the bar presidency. Most legal analysts have described her tenure as one that has risen the bar's bar. This has heightened public trust and confidence for the bar. Her integrity, reputation, honesty, straightforwardness, charisma, etc. have never been in doubt or in question since her name came into prominence several years ago, not as a politician, but as a legal luminary. Owing to the appreciation of the public of the activities of the SLBA, the President was honored by several organizations, and she accepted them on behalf of the SLBA. These recognitions include 100 most influential Leoneans, 50 most influential women, outstanding female legal practitioner, excellence in law, best female practitioner, and an honorary award in recognition of the unflinching and relentless support to the youth of Sierra Leone. So, Bar can do it. To conclude this address, I call Sierra Leone Bar Association today to 1, get organized, 2, mobilize resources, human, spiritual, material, 3, create working groups for the 4 teams around the political, the economic, the social, and the technological. Distill clear and simple action points for immediate implementation. Advocate, push, agitate for their implementation. And use the annual conference and general meeting forum to assess progress on all of the above. This is the only real role the Sierra Leone Bar Association should play today. The people of Sierra Leone are tired of the numerous and sophist parroting of liberal values at millions of meetings and workshops. The people of Sierra Leone are yearning for, longing for, cannot wait for a true renaissance, a reorienting of governance through real and effective democratic guidance, political, economic, social, and technological governance, which meets the people at the point of their needs and wants. The unofficial bifurcation of the bar along lines of the two main political parties must end. This is a byproduct of inimical liberalism, which I have told you will die next year. The unofficial remnants of patriarchy that exists in the bar must also end. Basita has more than proven to us that all that male lawyers can, female lawyers can do even better. I thank you for your attention and your tolerance, and I look forward to interacting further with you during the answer session.
Yes, that na the Ghanaian Professor Raymond Atuguba. He talk boku, definitely, and I play everything for the one that will not be the opportunity for don't listen, so that we go listen. And I want to give you the opportunity now. I want to give you the opportunity. It talk about, if you watch a United Africa and how Africa go able to sustain itself, then he talk about Sierra Leone. So me want for today, make we focus on Sierra Leone. If we even if we want to rub more per the side that we talk about United Africa, definitely we can rub more today. But the Bar Association, waiting in really focus on, make her open the phone line.
Yep.
Yes, caller, your name and who say the call from, please.
Yeah, my name Brian. I call from New Jersey.
Yes, Brian from New Jersey. You want all which you listen with because we get a feedback.
Yeah. I don't dollar.
Waiting now your contribution, sir.
Oh, the professor, the erudite professor, learned professor. Let God bless him. We were independent, truly independent in a salon. That guy, he talk everything within our mind, and he talk more. Everything. Now, this have been the talk. If you remember, Tripoli, I called a couple weeks ago, we talk about Sam Sumana. Now, this have been talk say, if we want democracy, let we get democracy. If not dictatorship we want, let we get dictatorship. Because me, they always say, not only elections, we get regular elections every 5 years, but we not get democracy in a salon. What APC been there will be talker. We then fire Sam Sumana. Then go now Supreme Court endorse her. Foreign and I can talk and so. These governments come back. What did they do? The people and vote. Una go una pull MP and they. Una go na the judiciary, una make you dabaru, una pull them. And what the law, the constitution say, if una pull them people and the through petition, una for all new election. Foreign and I can talk everything what we will say. Then all election, then go, then they're waiting and call. Because they want to get majority. I don't understand waiting like this majority. America, how they? The Democrats, not then get the House of Representatives. Republicans then get the White House. Waiting bad for now. Now this will talk where APC come, they mess up the country. The SLBA come, they mess up. And just like when you talk, every section of the country, civil society will for talk. Before that's when they begin talk, government, then give them position at government, then set them out. Even the media, the AYV, they see, then they pull people and they go join the government. APC, they do the same thing. Then, by all them, other journalists, so they criticize them. Take them, shut them out, go join them. I don't know. As I said, if we want democracy, let us fight democracy. If we want dictatorship, we want, just like the professor said, let us go the dictatorship route. And we make sure so we do it correctly. But it talk the exact thing. Exactly. We want a truly independent people in other country. We need to support APC or SLPP. Now, the way to we talk, the professor just lay everything for we na table. Let God bless her. And they continue for listening. Bye. Thanks.
All right. Thank you very much, Brahma from New Jersey. Thank you, sir. Yes, caller, you live on here. Your name and who side you call from, please?
Yeah,
yes, sir. You there live on here. Your name and who side you call from?
Oh, this is I the call from US.
Yes, I what's in your contribution, sir?
Well, the guy hit the nail on the head with all the things they always say. But to tell you the truth, whether they pay attention to these learned professors, them within the talk, nobody, not only the first when they talk about democracy or the right thing, how things will go, nobody, Salon or Africa, so not they pay attention to them. Everybody they do what they feel for do, So I must see how it will move the needle. It will move the needle intellectually, so people don't really understand what they go on intellectually, But as far as what's happening at the ground, it doesn't move the needle one bit because everybody locked up in their ways. The problem with Southern Africa, as a matter of fact, is based on tribalism, religion, and all kinds of regionalism and all kinds of stuff. So when somebody gets into power, then they do everything and things are right for their own section. When the other person come at the same thing themselves they do. So what's in the first to talk? Kwame Nkrumah, they all long talk, Marcus Garvey, all these people all long talk about Africa, Salon. What will change? Nothing has changed. Now the same thing they go on. When you want to do right now and then other forces they come against you. Just take, for instance, and then Thomas Sankara, Burkina Faso. Wait for do good for people. What do they do? They eliminate them. So, we just listen to what's going to talk, but nothing will change. That's my own contribution.
All right. Thank you very much, Ayo. Thank you. Yes, caller, you live on here. Your name and who side you call from?
Yeah,
Kofat, don't wait till they listen on, because they get feedback. Okay, you get the platform. What's in your contribution?
Yeah, they call from Chabot, France, the professor talk a lot. I just want to get in on a little stuff that we talk, In the first place, he talks about the APC and the SLPP, but the parliamentarian they remove from parliament, With Martin to the SLPP government, they come with new direction, with new change. What maybe they expect is that the election they don't vote Madam Bio as president. They don't vote APC, they forget the majority in our seat. Politics is about dialogue. It's not about you forget majority. I can remember the Obama being at power. Sorry. Another majority in the House. We were passing in Obama bill. You imagine, you ask the president, Obama, I watched the documentary. He not sleep till the midnight. He call each member, Congress member there, they talk to the Republican, Democrat, they appeal to the, and now they will call democracy. Not support for you get the majority in the House, so that it means you want pass bill anyhow I feel for passer. No, you understand? Don't come back to Sasumana issue back. The same thing about APC, Now that they sack people in the crowd of the country. When APC come back, now the same thing they go do. So how the country go develop? Except people are not the new direction. Okay. Forget about all that stuff already. Una will say, okay, una they make up the example. See, well, we need a set for majority in our parliament. Una get a dialogue, Mr. Bio. Now, see for the do. You know what impose speaker na house. No. You understand? So the country go develop, go before. But all they do so, imagine. The APC, they say that sponsor people that the airport for go do training. Now they kind of change their back, because other people for go do training back. Now more waste of resources, my man. You understand? So they really need for set this tier so easy in a salon.
All right.
Because of that, the same thing that call.
Okay, thank you very much, caller.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you. Yes, caller, your name and who side you call from, please?
Patrick from Germany.
Yes, Patrick, what's in your contribution, sir?
Thank you very much. First, I just want small thing. Before I come to this Ghanaian man, I want to say small thing to this caller I called before Saladin France call. Like the SLPP APC citizens, which yeah, SLPP the SAC, APC the SAC, and also majority in our parliament. It's like recently if you they observe as a political scientist, you know, you go know for say salon politics. I mean, forget about the geopolitical setting, but it's like now all about undermining. You understand? Now, salon at the country will be for say even if good thing come now, young pockets as long as not to party them power, no go under that good thing come for the country. See, so now that kind of politics now they observe now the people then they remain for the victims. You understand? And that thing the APC they implement the same way SLPP we don't they implement. So if SLPP know for say all the bills in the parliament, they find a very difficult whether even a good thing they carry with for it pass in that country they ever easiest now cast for them. So the best way then no for say them for eliminate all the illegal people. Yes, and so now that tricks then they use. You see, pass somebody will not get sense. And also like putting this profession as also yeah. Now a shame on us, we as Serenians, we na foreigner and they can't tell you, but we on problems. We lead as them under city many times we lead as them adapt to setting them conscience, to set their own conscience then common sense. Hello? Okay. Yeah. I don't know, sir, the unconscious the only thing maybe not because they own families and they are not affected by the poverty in a salon. So a foreigner now in the camp can't tell you about we own faults them, the problems within our country. We said they don't mind them day, we don't know they will support them thing. I can say this thing I am. If you are a leader, if you are a leader in a specific position and you are not informed enough to know or to spot exactly where problems are within your environment. I mean, how can you provide solutions to those problems? How can you provide solutions to those problems? Sometimes they double. The bar association is very, very poor. You understand? The bar association, all the other organizations, everything is just for everybody just the right for yourself. Only if they set pressure group now, right? That pressure group will get 1 or 10 people within the inside it. We can just try to make them well. How do we think that this country is going to go before? One man talked this they call about David Tambayo that whoever in his right mind will have thought that David Tambayo can subdue or make himself subservient to any political party in Sarah. No, nobody. You understand? But I mean, at the end of the day, it's to end. Very sad.
All right.
You see?
Okay.
So it's too sad when I foreign the council, but we on problems there. We leaders actually we the youth them let we try to mobilize let we get a formidable force, we'll make something actually. I don't know actually how to put it out, but we have to have a formidable force over here to go and help our youth out there, without which the country is being wrecked. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Patrick. Thank you. Yes, caller, ID live on here. Your name and who side you call from?
AAA, this is Usman Toli, they call from the UK.
Yes, Usman Toli. What's in your contribution?
Yeah, the professor, he actually talked on a wide range of issues, including the economic and political front. He talked on issues then where he covered the entire globe. But I think he talked more on the academic aspect. Some of the recommendations that we make, it look a little bit unrealistic, especially when we talk about how for actually solve some of them problems here. For example, if you really want for find some of the solutions that we bring forth, you need a united Africa. But however, that's not to the issue that now go to the point where you want to concentrate on, we're now about Salon, your own country. First of all, you look at both the APC as well as the SLPP, we don't tamper with the Constitution. And I think it talk more on the objective side of things by actually criticizing the aspect of the APC government where they go wrong, such as the sacking of the former Vice President, Winner Sam Sumana, and also what the SLPP they do right now, by getting rid of the MPs then constitutionally, which is quite objective. But let me make it quite clear. One of the recommendations then we make, what I actually admire, is about the idea of reviewing this constitution. Again and again, me and you and I at AAA, we don't talk about this. The constitutions, most of the constitutions in Africa, they need a review. Because their constitution don't exist, some of which for a very long time. And we know say the world don't change. So we need for bring back the constitutional, review them, and see how we will be update for meet with the system where they're in place. And the other recommendation where I feel say it will make a lot of difference. Now, Salon, we come up during the Binti Money now this transition act. And they tell everybody, every listener, say if we bring that transition act, we then propose during the Binti Money it will bring a lot of difference. Things like, they tell you how much amount of percentage of ethnicity we for occupy the ministry or any given position a government.
Okay.
So that will help to a very large extent. So now then here officials will therefore look at critically when it comes to in terms of recommendations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Usman. Thank you, sir. Yes, you did live on here. Your name and who side you call from?
This is Fuad from Paris.
Yes, Fuad. I think we better now they get you because just now nobody get you. What's in your contribution?
First of all, I just want to make some few points them in connection with treating this professor they try for talk. Me personally, I look at and say Africa we know we need democracy. And if you look at most of Professor Pierre Lumumba in speech, he always talk about democracy na imposer and we. Africa we not get a mental capability for maintain democracy. When you look at we the Africans and the Arab world, then to Russia, we don't need democracy. Democracy is for we. Because we know it for maintenance. That's one. And the professor always also tries to talk about the issue of Sam Sumana. Maybe look at it in a different perspective. Sam Sumana issue, take for example, AAA. If I come, I slap you. Though you know for turn and give me the you tell me go na court. Then court go talk say yes. Indeed I slap you now wrong thing. I not be need for slap you because of one reason or other, blah blah blah. Then the court don't take the verdict say I for compensate you because of that slap or slap you. Though you know what for the compensation be, then you come back to me, you can't make me party. So I want to put the stand of the particular court with the decision of the court with you. Because look at that, let's just summarize that. Sansumana, it can go APC in a court. If I APC say they need to go there, they no one know equals to this, they talk all sorts of things there. That same APC we can go in a court with the same back to the back. It don't go be that same person there. It don't go. So what's he want SLBA do? SLBA no get nothing for do. That don't should say the decision where the and its command is illegitimate. You understand? Don't this issue of say them pull the MPs they're not unconstitutional. You see, a lot of people would fail for realize say anything with that make me at the follow up every blessed day. The decision where the court take for pull the MP, and that same decision where the court will take for Pula SFP member of parliament. Now this Awali Salon people know. No, we try for call a speed. You know, no, we don't know say because of when something happen, we say, hey, the country, hey, blah blah blah, we can talk no. So take it that man, he don't know nothing but Salon. He go talk because of he say in a business man in lawyer. That make it call that reference day. That bad social we all see the royalty where let Jankaba and West be talk. But that incident will be happening. Na that SLBA party office where they represent 16 women. The bad social nobody no come up no nothing. Na yana usidon back where that go talk all kind of but that they para bit man conferences. I don't people nobody no talk. You know, so take it no try for the call a speed. No learn for the talk the truth. They say no look say for the look say boki foot. Look say boki. What am we look say boki foot? You go no say na for me I boki foot make a cap for na ya. Okay. You know, so that's no.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Yes, caller, they live on here. Your name and who side you call from?
Oh, my name Arthur. I call from UK.
Yes, Arthur from UK. What's in your contribution, sir?
Yeah, the issue where you raise about why made another change their staff than Sierra Leone. I be listen to a program where then talks now because of access for community for Ghana Africa is very difficult.
Okay, I want all you small because what we they talk right now. I think maybe you listen the wrong program. But we talk here about Professor Raymond Atuguba. We give a speech today. Now the Sierra Leone Bar Association.
Okay.
Yes,
okay,
and then we talk about.
Definitely that. Okay. Definitely now they're the wrong program. Are they?
Yes, now the wrong way.
Okay then.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Yes, I think say. The caller na the wrong program it be the listen. Maybe na a previous program will be done do. Na in the listen. But we talk about the speech where Professor Raymond Atuguba, a Ghanaian professor, where he go do today in a salon. Yes, caller, your name and who side you call from, please?
Yeah, I'm Kuruma. I call from the United States.
Yes, Kuruma from United States. What's in your contribution, sir?
I listened to the professor in speech. Honestly, you're not really talking anything new. I quite believe whatever he talk about, please, Nuna and Bakusi Alina and they don't talk. But the kind of Kalunam Day, it's like nobody no trust anybody for one reason or the other. The way APC can. I mean, the only within a different party than they criticize them. Likewise, I mean, any other party. Now, I see people in the club, we didn't talk about the removal of the parliamentarians. Then they, now who side the person for them? Don't know what side the person for them. APC be in power. How they manage get majority. Politics, it's a game. And when the sooner they say game, it's like a technique, each and everybody they look for. Genuine technique, legal technique. How APC manage gets majority, the parliament. Anybody that don't live in that country, when they talk about migration, they northerners they migrate more than the southeasterners. Yep, maybe they will be right, that the northwest. Unlike okay, then will be right saying, the northwest is populated. But talk and come, boy. The one they know, they say that one constituency that is not going to get like 3,000. We know say APC creates all in the street and they permit and just get more seats. At the end of the day, what's in the aim at, now permit and get the coup of the SLBA can the same kind of formula. So it's like they say they apply the technique. I just don't get for say. But the professor, whatever I say, new. When I don't be talking, everybody don't be talking. But it's just too common. The APC can adjust the same way, the opposition, the other. Where SLBA come out, adjust the same thing. Not even that professor talk with me. I just thank you so much for giving me the platform to make say whatever I get to say.
Thank you very much, Kuroma. Thank you. Yeah. Make up again one of we usual contributors, Senesi Brahima. Yes, Senesi Brahima. You don't listen to the professor. Waiting you want put on the table, sir.
Thank you very much, Tipule, and I want to say plenty thank you to all the callers. Then I believe say everybody make a meaningful contribution. I believe say everybody touch on the point. You see one thing, I believe say the professor don't vindicate this net because I remember 3-4 years back when we start this program, we did talk about the judiciary. I believe say the bar association will be the clap for professor, so therefore just bow their head in shame. Because all this way they happen, believe you me, if the bar association be really, they do their work, they stand for the nation, stand for the people, they stand for waiting them day for. Believe me, all these things they happen. During the time where all kinds of things they happen, even where we take the big example where Sam Sumana and Pulam, we see inside the bar association be completely split. We get some the way they call meeting, they want for take decision. Police get for kind side, they can't hold some, and then at the end of the day, that's where it left. So the bar association for bow their own heads in shame, because when we talk about judiciary, we're supposed to be independent. Believe me, all this political castle they are in that country because of the judiciary not independent. So the politicians they make use of them so that they have to score their own goals. Then you see this. Then see how a professor they talk so look like Professor Lumumba. Who said not they know you don't go to this Africa they talk about corruption. Who that the listener? The politicians in Africa, I don't know whose planets they come out. Just like when what I be say, Africa will not need democracy. I want for to say no. The only thing, the message will they pass. Now the same people, the same God will make the black. Now the same God make the white. There is no different. Now the color no more. Why the whites they adhere? Now, because of the desensitized, then people talk to them. But we are politicians, then, if you see, the benefit, they're not in the pass of the message. Look, what did they happen in our country? We just see something happen, no politician can talk to you. But if now the time don't reach for campaign, everybody in the months, this they can't do these changes, they can't do this change. But when they come, they're the same thing. But again, the bulk lies the foot of the bar association and the judiciary. Now they're responsible for all waiting they happen in our country. So today, I remember Kenya when they get election, when the judiciary independent, what did they do? Presidential election, they say they for rerun them. They go up in a salon. No, it not go happen. So the bar association, like where professors, let them go back and regroup and form themselves and speak with one voice. Because they speak with one voice. So then could they get all this problem in that country? I want to say bravo to everybody. I believe say everybody puts down their own, they points them. We just hope for the better for let Salon go before. Thank you very much, sir. All
right, thank you very much, Senesi Brahima. Yes, caller, you there live on here. Your name and who side you call from, please?
Yeah, good evening. Triple and DJ Umar again from Sweden.
Yes, DJ Umar, what you are laying at table, sir?
Actually, what I want to talk about is not new. I don't listen to everybody where don't talk as he say. They don't make serious points then where you don't analyze before and where we don't even discuss them before. Like I said the previous time, we problem where we get. If you hold on for me, like just low me radio what they listen.
Okay, yeah, do that.
So, so everybody know the internet. Okay. Like I said before, we problem where we get if we don't solve the head, the foot, and don't get for solve. We biggest problem, the destroying problem where we get now with country. These things not solve. How we go before? Like I said, every state or every country in the world where the law is not in the right place, now a failed state, or things they go very much wrong. So we get a stranger today we don't come. We don't listen to him. How he tried to just summarize the problem where we self no say now problem. The only side now where he left, even today where he come or get meeting with all these we bigger ones there, where the day before this law, he talk to them. As they turn him back, situation still remain the same. I only care for left this room here today with a question. One, Leone, do we even have or will they hope for anybody one day where go come and change these things them for we? Number two, we lost system. Is there any other reform? Because everybody they talk say, let we reform, let we change, let we do, let we that. But the problem is, how will we get to go about them? Because anything where it come down in the country, the law will politicize, everything will change. For even the justice system work today, because as long as it go by that way, we don't get forgiven justice. Everything where the other callers that we don't say, most of them, I really agree with them. And this problem there, like me and you two today, they discuss this in this forum. And other platform, people they discuss and today that might be over. Yeah, a lot of tribunals and then where they don't give concern. But the question is, which side will they go? How can we solve them? Will they speak to this a new direction? Certain things then where we need now to check. What we need to change and what need to be changed now. Where you don't need to wait. One of the biggest problems that side, when I know the head first where it get problem. If we don't try to fix them, we go able to fix the foot. We don't get able to fix the foot where the justice system corrupt. And when we don't get justice. If you don't get justice today, nothing not get for go forward now with country. You know? So like nothing not the way I get for say today where you know day about this justice system. I don't talk about before. I said the head where we get now the system where it they in corrupt one. Put parliamentarians or put them or council or election get for go. If we don't get the independent body, whether they able to make decisions by themselves, where it's not by favor, it's not by party, it's not by nothing. Justice go to who that deserve justice. And they run on. If you don't get the right to be who say you dey, then you don't get the right to be who say you dey, but let them pass them with fear, without no favor. But if this not happen today, a lot of things get for go wrong, and it will continue to go wrong when we will get ways to fix them. Because anybody will come, it will take advantage. And the last of everything where I say, if we always continue to say, AAA, you be done do this yesterday. You know, Joseph, think about what DJ Omar be done do. How we go get to the point where we say we get? You say we need a new direction, we need new changes. Let's forget about the mistake where DJ Omar be don't do yesterday. Now you did it. Now because I do that mistake, then I make people me. So try to correct. Even how painful it is, let we just try to straighten the issues. Let it go the way it's supposed to go. But I left everybody in the room and pray to God. Let we get the good leaders, good governance. Let people think maybe see to like all this. We get stranger today where they come and tell everybody problems. Maybe it will make some concern. I just pray, let things change. So, my main contribution.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
DJ Omar from Sweden.
Yeah.
Thank you. Everybody don't give waiting, they're able to pick from waiting the professor say. Where the professor be the talk, he talk a lot of things then. Something then you go say, okay, well now for Africa, not for Salon. But I want to make we do something here. Something in the way we talk, let we see how, if it's possible for Duna Salon. The one side talk is say, for reconstruct we identity. You talk about the African identity. But me want to talk now about the Sierra Leonean identity. Reconstruction of we identity. How we go able to reconstruct we identity in a salon? Yes, caller, you there live on here, your name and also where you call from?
Yes, AAA, good evening, good afternoon. I just want to say, my name is Samuel, I call from US.
Yes, we did talk about Professor Raymond Atuguba in speech. What's in your contribution?
Well, the contribution actually, according to Professor Raymond, in speech, within his talk today concerned about democracy, and obviously just like within the man made the talk, the other guy within the talk say, there's nothing actually new. Within the professor they talk, and we are aware and other people in the way they may not give actually a speech, even more than the professor, so they're aware of everything. So there's nothing new. And just like within the other man, when they talk, see, Africa actually will not deserve democracy, and that is true. And then the other guy in the talk say actually we need for the review a constitution that allows them. But even as that, right? So my own thing is, even if they review that allows them, the problem will get we're not able to enforce the laws, because the laws actually are there. They are written. They may not write the laws them, but if you not enforce the laws them, then it's nothing. So that makes what some people can compare the white man and black man. The white man enforce the laws because we're indisciplined. These are the problems, and greed. So we not deserve actually democracy in Africa because we are very indisciplined. Even if there's the laws, we have to enforce the laws. The laws are not just in the book, then lead them. We know they enforce them. If we enforce the law, if you enforce the law, and then there will be discipline. So all those things actually are very, very necessary. So that's my contribution for today.
Okay, thank you very much, Sam. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Yeah. God bless. Thank you.
Yeah, I did talk about creating our own identity in a salon. How can we create our own identity? Everybody don't call and say what in the one say. If me go say creating our own identity now, it's going to be a difficult one, but it's possible. Like couldn't say, they give big dog a new name. But it go start from outside with a review with constitution. Now make people already call say these things are not new, not in the way we know, not in the way we don't talk. But are those folks that are up there, are they listening? A lot of people later will say no, they're not listening. Because at the end of the day, now waiting them want, now and then they do. But if we as Sierra Leoneans them able for reconstruct with identity, and for make we achieve that day, we able for review with constitution, so that we constitution go dey up to par with this day and age. What in the professor say? He say the constitution then, he say it be just too enough for the needs. He say, but right now the constitution is inadequate for the wants. The constitution trade, the one they follow now, okay, 1991, 1961, all the one then they, it been just too enough for the needs then trade. But in this day and age, it's inadequate for the thing the way we want. So, then thing the way we want. When I go help we for make we able reconstruct we identity in a salon. We for able for review with constitution. Again, it's not new. He say the world need Africa than Africa needs the world. He say the idea we like Donald Trump then get, say America first. We don't want nobody for come. Now we country. If Africa leader, if we as alone, we can get that kind of ideology there. We diamond go profit we fish go profit everything go profit Right now, a lot of people they talk say, oh, the previous government then thief, the previous government then this. It's always say, where you they compare the thief way government then can thief. It's saying at 3%. So the other loopholes them, we people then create for able for thief the country in resources. The government in thief na 3%. You can imagine. But the loopholes them, the way people them can understand how for fraud the system, na Salone. That one day he pass the one way we feel say the government thief. We not the same right now. We the same. We the same. We anti-corruption. They go after people them. But the saddest part, where he make mention say people can get ways and means how for transfer money overseas, and in way they can get contracts them. Now so the state they take loss. In Sierra Leone, what you want for say? How we go able to identify them other ways than they? For make Salone not lost that way they. Something and they just like how they talk now, it don't become so like it's normal, even though it's not normal. Even though not they wrong. We don't take like say no, it's just the norm now. It's just normal. Say we person can office, if we're able to build our muscles, he pass with Amos Motokadem, it's normal. Not the way that one day. Not the way that one day. So at the end of the day, how can we create our new identity, Sierra Leone? One, not to for do waiting the one and they be don't do. Then they go make them a circle. They go make them a circle. Just like what the callers then say, this Professor Raymond, he be they talk to the Bar Association, but he be they also talk to we. Bar Association, when they talk about Samsumana, they applaud. When they talk about Parliament, they applaud. And if you find out, now the two different fractions, they make at the end of his speech, what he say? He said the two main political parties, them don't find their way inside the Bar Association. We all know say the Bar Association not they speak with one voice. So until the Bar Association, the judiciary of Sierra Leone, begins speak with one voice. And when I mean speak with one voice, independent voice. The voice of the Constitution, the voice of the law. Not to depend on the platform we team up. Because at the end of the day, now, the Bar Association, now by the platform, you go see this lawyer, they can explain. At the end of the day, now the platform will team up. Then the bar go counter them. Yes, now so the law they work. But, it gets big but. But, the Constitution for be paramount. And creating that way identity today. We talk about giving the Constitution. You remember, Naya, we talk even the caller talk about the transition. That transition. I remember the first day we were talking, Naya. We see the transition period. Now bam 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 bam. No packing, no waiting. Eh? When will Sierra Leone protect we natural resources them? You know the rotting. Diamond, you know the rotting. Iron, know the rotting. They fish them. If they left there, they not catch them. In fact, now plenty, then they plenty. If they do for we for it. When we go able to say, you know what in this now we can't give. This now we natural resources. You either take and the way we want them for B or you pack and go. But for one contract for go through, You know how much Dabaru games they get for play? You know how much money they get for eat? All not for the progress of the country. Because if something for go through, if it cost 1 Leone, at the end of the day, the person will get for make that day happen, it don't skyrocket until 10 Leone, which you feel say go happen at the end of the day. Eh? What do you feel say go happen? So I believe say, we in Sierra Leone, we able forget a new identity. But after we don't review the constitution, after we don't check with transitional act, we get for worse. We get for worse reshape of that political ideology based on region and tribe. We educate, the one that we educate. Now they don't pull the one that we not educate. You go na the interior part, outside lights no the road no dey. When a footpath then get, you go there. They don't know nothing. But ask them which party then they vote for. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. Them go tell you which party then they vote for. Because that ideology, they don't soak inside them. A lot of people, they say, all man don't talk. People then go talk now for nothing. I want to say, not for nothing. There's going to come a day when we go knock with chest, say, yes, we tried. And finally, now the results this. If the people in Rwanda, then give up. If the people in Tanzania, then give up. They not for the talk show they like it today. They not for the talk show they like it today. But at the end of the day, then get somebody will come. We wait he talk. Now he do. And we go ever live for the talk or me go the talk and say, for me to get it right, when we begin for attack the basic need of the people, the basic need of the people. The people in Grab Trade, they say they get citizen manifesto. The politicians, they don't care. They don't even listen. That citizen manifesto, a lot of money be spent for make them able for do that survey. They able put them paper then they together. But no way. The number one thing would be right to say they need the politician name for make them asset publicly. It happen? No. Politicians say the constitution say secret one and therefore go hand over to anti-corruption. And that's what they are doing. But we know say if you maybe it be in good safe way that review that constitution wouldn't be the review during the past regime will not go through. Maybe it be good. Because now the kind of awareness we don't do. If they say constitution they review, I bet you everybody will be on board. Everybody. But at the end of the day, now the basics we want for. You switch on the light, a day. You go to bed na net, when you wake in the morning, you know say you no get for run at a cold rest. Cold rest will be an option. Do we have option in Sierra Leone we camp and eat? We get option. You know, even before Professor Raymond Atuguba, I began a different topic what we'll deal with today. Well, we don't know how tomorrow get for come out, but maybe tomorrow now we go do. How we go able from strengthen the Sierra Leone economy, for strengthen the Sierra Leone currency. Because at the end of the day right now, it's dwindling. And I be they read totally about today. And everything we see, they weaken an economy, we they see and baby go on a salon. One of the things that we say is say import. We the import and the prices them we the import very expensive. He said that in a one reason where the weaken economy in a country. Even though, yes, he make mention of the import where the import pass the export. But they emphasize on the cost of things the way they import. Even if they import more than they export, it's so funny that if they think the way they import, they're very cheap. If they're able to still get some kind of maintenance in your economy. But when the prices, and I would sit down, every time they talk and say, I like you buy something cheap. Naya. We for go clear on our taki. At the end of the day, we don't bring them inside. You get for pull our taki boni. So now we save back. They help for devalue the leons. No. Let's reserve this one for tomorrow, or maybe pass it for that income for another day, because I know I'm not going inside. But we basic. And the most funny thing about Sierra Leoneans, small thing don't make we satisfy. Like we have arrived. Now I make you see Sierra Leoneans, most Sierra Leoneans lack professionalism. Because small thing, we don't satisfy. At the end of the day, if you party, sing song safe, we see listen them. You don't praise them. The artist, if he say don't arrive, nobody again like him. If somebody they learn for make something, you say yes, it's fine. You know able gain correction say, but if you do so, great thing. That's way don't make you don't say it's fine, it don't arrive. He never ever plan for go further and beyond. I guess something I want to make in a salon. La le fale, people they not can begin talk about what they get. But it's sad. It's definitely sad. We people them, they not nothing no they we they try for do where we go do them to perfection. To perfection. But we not go tired for talk. Even though people say they are not listening, they are listening. They are. Even for the listening, then they listen. But now for put them into practice, now the problem. The other day, we call somebody in name. We begin at the previous government. I not go call him. Trust me. At the watch now, within few minutes, the person will be there at the previous government. He don't can join. He can't listen. because they call him name. Now somebody they listen and go catch and say, then call Sierra Network. Good, it all reach. So then they listen. Trust me. And we follow as them na Sierra Network. After United States, na Sierra Leone. In all we platform them. After United States, na Salone. Salone beat all the European countries there for following. In news, in we YouTube channel, in everything, in the radio station, in everything. Then they listen. Trust me. So, now so go lock the domot for today. You want to go to America, then don't go barbecue, then can go fireworks later. Nobody no green invite me. No problem. Myself I go come barbecue behind me domot. Or come barbecue behind me domot until no one invite me. But at the end of the day, I one salon we get. And we believe. I can tell people, in me own generation, in we own time. We own time. Now we want to see these things happen. We people in trade, na be how for do. They not be they talk. How for do me picking? How for do? We own time, we refuse for be how for do. And make we leaders then listen, let the left for copy the bad thing where they happen in Ghana. Now, this Ghana man he talk. He say look like say Salone they copy the bad thing the way they happen in Ghana inside their own politics. Now we they copy. Liberia, they left the people for demonstrate and then go give them water and then they this. Salone, as you say demonstration, say, hey, then chief man then go come out, then what yourself go come out, then go fight, then go this. What also? Now so then go talk. Say then go fight. I be they tell somebody this year we talk we even be they talk this now on the election time. Say, you know why the politician then they able for use that what they say? Say then go fight, then go demonstrate. You know why? Because now they young one and they come out. We can customers say, oh, they young one them. Now they can come out for go dance for the politician them. My dear, let them say so and so person. They gonna want interior village just now. Let you see them mami them. We even lights no they water no they. They even can struggle for get it. But now that thing they go come. Go bring fall, go bring cow, can kill everything for them big one them. So until we self able free we mind from them thing and they, we need to go no side. No side will not they go. But we go continue for talk. Just a quick update before I close. Just a quick update. Remember, we put video of Abdul Kamara when I was young bobo, and also Esther with him blind mama. Well, we don't they get closing on that particular story day. We don't learn say World Vision don't take care of them because a lot of people but we can't go right down and say World Vision. All man they right to help. But we don't learn say World Vision don't take care of them, and the person where they give you the info, I don't please beg and say, please, we need a contact for them. And definitely if we get a contact for them, we they send with production team for good day. Whosoever then they would they send the production team for good day and make we go do another documentary of how they look now. So that we will not say yes, not true. We hope say no money no go feel say we na that Korean channel because we no go get money for to go away. We no go get the dollar for to go away. So now the only problem that we get for inside. Because in Sierra Leone for do documentary and they say, oh, they go make money, this and that. So we just hope say because of waiting we don't do and we don't see. As we get closing on that, I don't ask the person, please, as we get closing on that, send me information. Because with the Lante, Nakono, one inside interior, we go send the production team there. It's a big team, but hey, we try for send the production team there and make we go try for get how then they live now compared to the time we see them na the documentary. We go there back tomorrow. If July 4th not stop we for Kaya, we think go stop we. Eh? We go there back tomorrow. For make you can spend time like one mama picking them. Till we meet again tomorrow. Na so people let say, tata.